Shalom Aleichem, Rabbi Wilhelm.
Yeah, hi, Betsy, and how are you?
Oh,
man, same to you. Okay, so I know you're rushing, you're waiting to catch the bus, so let's do this quick. I wanted to mention a vart that was such a beautiful vart from last week's parsha still. That will be a motivational speech for the month of Elul that we just started, the blowing of the shofar. Last week's parsha talks about the simanim of a kosher animal, a kosher fish. So I saw a vart. What's so special about a fish that when Yaakov blesses his kids, Yaakov says, "V'yidgu l'roiv b'kerev haaretz," that you should multiply like fish. Why fish? So we all know that fish have no ayin hara. Fish, the eyes are always open. But I saw another beautiful pshat. Fish are very unique, and that is any other kosher species, even from its birth until the plate. There are so many swings and misses that can happen to it and make it non-kosher. Take a cow. It has to be shechted properly. You have to extract the blood. You have to take out the chalev and the cooking and all these questions. And therefore, until it's over, it ain't over. So there's always mess-ups that can happen to it. Even born as a kosher with the simanim, something wrong can happen. A fish, as long as it's born as a kosher fish, it has the simanim of a kosher fish, there's nothing that you could do to make it non-kosher, unless you intentionally or cook it without. In other words, it's born as a kosher fish. It's a salmon. It could be cut. It could be all those things. There's nothing else that you have to do to make it. Nothing that can make it non-kosher, and that's unique. A person should think, as long as Baruch Hashem, the Eibishter blessed us, we were born to a Jewish mother. That this is going to block the thing. As long as we're born to a Jewish family, we have that prize within us, and utilize and remember how lucky we are. That's last week's parsha, and that gives us some chayes to survive and strive in the month of Elul. In this week's parsha, we find a very interesting mitzvah by a melech, the mitzvah of Soim Tasim Melech HaMelech, that the melech has to make 2 sefer Torahs, and the Torah says one sefer Torah he puts away in the Aron Kodesh, and one should be with him always. So the Rambam, when the Rambam says this halacha, the Rambam doesn't say where it should be with him always. Everybody knows that the Gemara in Sanhedrin says that it was actually like wrapped on his arm. It was actually like a jewelry on his arm. There was a small Sefer Torah. Why did the Rambam omit and not write that? Because many Mefarshim say that the Rambam says it. I have a raya from a different Gemara that it wasn't on him literally. One of the rayas is by Shlomo, by David HaMelech. It says David HaMelech the Malach HaMavis was able to get to David HaMelech by David HaMelech was always learning, and when you learn, you have the chayas of Torah. The Malach HaMavis couldn't pull the plug, so he made some noise outside, and David HaMelech fell, and that's when he stopped learning, and the Malach HaMavis did what he did. So Shlomo turns to the Chachamim and says, it's Shabbos, and a mess, a corpse is a muktzah. What should I do? How am I able to move David? So the Chachamim responded, put something on top of it, something that's not muktzah, and you'll be able to carry it. So the Ragad Shavar says that's the biggest raya that David HaMelech wasn't carrying a Sefer Torah with him always, because if he would have had a Sefer Torah on him, you were able to move him because of the Sefer Torah that's on him. Others say, but he was learning. He was sitting and learning. He just stood up for a minute. Maybe when he was learning, he was able to take it off. But that's the classical question, why the Rambam doesn't say that he actually wore the always on him. But the Melech had to write 2 Sifrei Torah. Why? What's wrong? Why only the Melech and why 2? The answer is a regular person behaves in his home. He should behave in his home the way he behaves outside. Outside the home, you're not a dual personality. The Melech has a job to be a dual personality. Outside, he has to act like a Melech and show leadership and a Ish Milchama. And personally, Lebilti Roim, he cannot be arrogant. He can't be tough. So therefore, the Melech has to have 2 Sefer Torahs and to teach him that the same person who I am, despite the fact that I'm juggling my personalities, how I behave at home and how I behave outside, it's the same Torah, and perhaps only when I'm humble at home, I'm able to become the Melech outside.
Beautiful. Amen.